Hello, it's Jane here. I'm back again, and unlike last week's Moan Fest, for which I can only apologise, I'm feeling really good about the plot this week. It's just, I've got my dungarees back on, I've gone round, I've readjusted, I've gone through that transitional period of, watch last week's video, you'll know what I mean. And yeah, I'm getting really excited again now. And not least because today I'm going to sew something that's given me that buzz about seeing things grow again, even though we are now in August, but I'll tell you a little bit about that later. But yeah, let's just have a little look around. I'll show you a few bits and pieces that have cheered me up, and yeah, and then I'll show you what I'm going to sew. This probably isn't the best angle to show you, and I think I am shooting into the sun, but hopefully you can pick up these gorgeous golden gate beans. Look at these. These will get a lot bigger. They'll turn yellow, and they are one of the most tender beans. I don't know if that's just it with yellow beans, but I've found that before. I'm making a right mess of that, aren't I? Let's have a look. Yeah, it might be mind over matter, but I tend to think the yellow beans are that much more tender. Is it just me? But yeah, really excited to see those, because to be honest, I thought the heat had affected the beans really, really badly. They seemed to flower, and then the flowers were just dropping off. So there's lack of water and too much heat. So really good to see the beans catching up. We'll be picking them soon. Yeah, another thing that we've got in today is we've got the Musselburgh leeks in, and I've got to be honest, these have been sitting on the bench at the bottom end of the plot for at least a month, and I've been watching other people get their leeks out and thinking, oh, we need to do ours, but yeah, Mike managed to get those in before he went home to watch the football. Oh yeah, that time of year. And yeah, it's just so nice to think that we've got something in now to look forward to in the long, harsh months we've got ahead of us over the winter. Because what can be better than picking your own leeks and some leek and potato soup on a cold winter's day? I've got to be honest, I haven't given this pear tree any thought at all this year. I remember looking at it in the spring and probably taking a couple of photographs and thinking, isn't the blossom pretty? But I don't think I've looked at it since, and I've come up today and it's one of those things, because it's right at the top end of the plot next to Mike's shed, say no more. I don't often pass this way, so yeah, once you get your eye in, I think we're going for quite a nice pear harvest this year. And I've got to show you this. This wasn't here last week. Look at this. The tiniest watermelon on record, but it is just that. It's a watermelon. It's pollinated. It's growing. I might only get the one. It might fall off in my hand any second now, but look at that. First time my watermelons have got through to this stage, so I'm absolutely thrilled. And if you look just behind there, I've got my first tomato almost ready to pick. Okay. This is the bit between, my Mr. Bethel's, sorry Paul, Mr. Bethel's purple podded peas. I didn't think I'd be on a slant, but I am. Mr. Bethel's purple podded peas are there. I've got the Scarlet Emperor runner beans here. And in this bit, we were always going to put our safari dwarf beans, and for one reason or another we just didn't get around to it and it got left. So now we've sort of seen that the rest of the plot's sort of getting on its own anyway. I thought I would give some really, really late sown beans a go. Now these are beans I had in, they haven't been opened, but I had them in anyway. I mean, I could use them next year, but why not see where are we now? We're on the 6th, 7th of August. We've got warm, sunny weather predicted for the next couple of weeks. So they should get off to a good start as long as they get a good water. And I'm just going to see if we can get a crop, because otherwise they're just going to sit there until next year and I'll have had to wait a whole other year to get my crops. So these are dwarf French beans. These are tender green. And one of the things that seemed like, I don't know if you sorry, I'm actually sitting in a hole here. I didn't realise till I sat down. Let me just try not to fall back into the munch too, or what's left of them. Oh dear. Not only did I think it might be worth giving these a go, but my daughter bought me a lovely almanac for Christmas, which goes through the garden month by month and includes folklore and history and plant of the month and bird of the month. I think the bird for August is a gull. I haven't got many of those at the plot, but we've got plenty of pigeons, which are near enough. But it also gives you the phases of the moon, which, as you know, I've been dabbling in this year. And apparently, at the moment, the moon is waxing. So we need to be sowing things that are going to grow above the ground. And I think these, I know they're upside down. I've opened them upside down. I think these might just do it. So they're going to get a helping hand from the moon. They're going to get a helping hand from me. But I think what I'm going to have to do first of all is sort this little tiny little bed out here, and I'll come back to you when it's done. That looks a bit better, doesn't it? So it'll be better. No, I'll do it this way. Hey, can you see? Yes, you can. It's just had a quick hoe, a quick rake. I've got most of the weeds out, and I'm just going to make a few drills along here. I want them to be deep enough that when the beans swell, might use the hurry actually, wherever I've buried it, look at that. When the beans swell, they're not going to pop up to the surface to say hello, because I tend to do that because I'm very, very impatient. So I'm making a nice, I'd say it's a deepish hole. I keep thinking they're peas, you know, I don't know why. I think because they're green. Right, that'll do. Look, you see, I'm impatient, aren't I? You'll be saying, that needs to be far deeper, Jane. Right, that's one drill. Actually, it doesn't look too bad underneath, does it? So, yeah, the rows are meant to be 18 centimetres apart, which is about 7 inches. I'm just going to do another one there because I want to. Okay, so let's see if we can see this. You probably can't. Look, I'm doing it behind the thing, aren't I? It's more invisible gardening with Jane. Okay, just take my word for it. I'm scratching some drills into the ground. Be better off doing it on the other side of the hoe, but never mind, I'll do it properly on the next bit, she says. It's quite nice soil actually. It's not that dry, but I'm still, once I've done my drills, I'm going to water the base of the drill before I put anything else in it. That's a bit deeper. Right, let's do this one so you can actually see what I'm doing. I mean, it's not, you know, particularly interesting, but it's all part of the process, isn't it? Right, I think the reason this soil's a little bit easier to do here is because we did put a whole load of compost on this bed and the majority of it was in the middle here, so I can make a much deeper furrow than I would have done. Let's see. Shall I move the camera and make it look a bit arty? Nah. Here we are. Okay, so just do that a bit deeper with my hand. The best implements we've got. Okay, and shall I do one more row? One more row. Okay. And then, hello worm. Sorry about that. There we go. One more there. Okay. And across we go. I appreciate if you've got clay soil at the moment, with the weather that we've had, it's probably nigh on impossible to be able to just pull up a little furrow like this. It can't be nice at all. So, right, not as deep as I particularly like it, but that's my impatience coming in. Right, okay, water the holes. I've lost the beans. Yep. Oh, here we go. Right, okay, let me show you what they look like. Beans do just look magic close up, you know. Let's have a look at these. You see those? Little beauties, aren't they? Don't know how many we've got in the pack. I think I've ripped that bit off. But there'll be enough to do. Right, and yes, I have left the hoe in a perilous situation there, as with the rake over. Oh my goodness. Oh, that was a slug. Right, okay, and then literally I am just going to pop the beans in. Supposed to be 2 at each station, but these haven't got any stations. These have just got drills. So I'm just going to pop them in. And like I say, we'll see what happens. We've really got nothing to lose. And I think part of my issue, I would say, last week, or my last video, apart from the bees, that was very pleasurable making that video, was, yeah, I was talking to a few other gardeners about it, and it's the excitement of watching things grow. You've sort of gone past that stage and you're into just waiting for the bad things to happen now. So blight and things like that, which inevitably will, but I'm not going to have enough for all the things. Right, let's try. Shut up, Jane, and just plant your beans. I'll spread them out a little bit more. But yeah, I think, especially if you're a new gardener, it's been mentioned before, but it can be really worrying that you might not be doing something right, or you see people do it one way and you think, oh no, I haven't done it properly, I've done it a different way. Let's see if we can rescue a bean from somewhere else there. And yeah, you've just got to have confidence in yourself, really. Things will grow. You look in a forest, on a forest floor, and things will grow. They grow on their own. They don't have any intervention by us. We just let them get on with it, and they work. But the thing is, with gardening, especially with things like this, like social media, I mean, I hope nobody watches mine and thinks I'm doing it properly. But you get so many mixed messages, and you've just got to try things. I've never ever planted beans this late. I planted my tomatoes deliberately late to see if they catch up. Yeah, I haven't picked one yet. So yeah, that could be my issue. I will plant them earlier next year, but they've worked. They've caught up. And if your things aren't happening at the same time as everybody else's, what's the problem with that? It's fine. Things will happen. You know, none of us could have predicted, well, a few people could have predicted this weather this year, but how it would affect our crops, you know, that's something we've learned this year. That I certainly haven't been through a spell as a gardener like we've had. What am I doing now? This is a very important scientific part. of planting your beans. Called the Jane Pat. Yeah, what you want to do is just make sure they're covered. Look, I'm just going over them now. Just make sure none pop out at you. I've forgotten where my lines are. It doesn't matter, they're the only things in here. Whoop. And I know what beans look like when they start popping up. So yeah, I've got a label. Where's my label? Oh, come on, Jane. There, look, I've got a label. You see, I'm going to put my label in. Where should I put it? There, off camera. No, I'll put it, I don't know if it's off camera or not, but I'll put it there. And then at least I'll know what I've done. Okay, I'm going to give it, should I give it another water? You know what, I'm not going to give it another water. I'm going to hope that we get one of these very weird little showers that we seem to be getting lately. And then leave them for a while just to settle in, because if I water them now, I might just disturb everything. So yeah, that's it, they're in. Oh, French beans. Right, I'm in the least glamorous part of the plot here. But you know what? The chickens absolutely love it. And this is the bit where they, hello, it's Christmas decoration there. Don't want you pecking that, let's put that there. Hello, sweethearts. A little while ago, again, a couple of months ago, I think, we got this chicken fence. And of course, in the adverts, it's all brilliantly done. It looks really taut and everything. And when you try and put it up, it tends to buckle a bit, but it is high enough for them not to be able to fly over. And it means, it means that we can move it around the plot. And at the moment, the places we're moving it to are in the shade, because even though we've set up plenty of shade in their coop, hey sweetheart, we've set up plenty of shade in their coop, it's just nice for them to have somewhere fresh and something to actually scratch around in, because, you know, they scratch all the time. It's what they're most happy doing. Hey, Mary. Hey, Mary. And it's so nice to see them. They're absolutely, I open their coop door, shake a little tin of corn, and they all run. They all run apart from one, which is, hello, which is Sybil, who was our broody one. And you can see here, she's just growing her feathers back in now. She was almost bald when she went broody. She really, really molted quite badly, and we were quite worried about her. And every time we came up to the plot, we were having to lift her off her nest box, which she wasn't too happy about, was she? She didn't like that very much. Where are you? You're behind me. It's behind me. A bit nervous now. Yeah, but so the last few days, actually, each time we've come up, she's been mixing with the other chickens a bit. She's going to have to work her way back up the pecking order, because she's right at the bottom again at the minute. You're wondering who I'm talking to? Hey. But it's so nice to see her out again. So that's just another. It only seems like such a little thing, but it's just so nice. And yeah, compared with the mood I was in, you know, I nearly didn't make that video because I thought it's not fair to come on and just moan about stuff. But I think actually it's quite realistic, because we all feel like that, don't we, from time to time, where you just sort of feel like you've lost it a bit. But in my case, it's come back. Didn't take much more than a glass of wine, a bar of chocolate, and a couple of good nights sleep. You know how people do it in humid countries. I know you adapt to it, I just don't know, but I find it quite sapping. Saying that, I wish the sun had come out, because this is quite nice when the sun's out. It's just coming through the apple tree there. I might get clunked on the head by an apple at the minute. Right underneath the big old faraway tree, as I call it, full of cooking apples, which is there. But yeah, it's feeling really positive again. And I've had a couple of proper sized raspberries now. Again, I think in the past video I picked a raspberry and it was tiny, and I was saying, oh no, oh, this is so typical, isn't it? The grass is always greener. Oh, you be careful, sweetheart. You be careful. Come here. Look. Yeah, and it was proper sized raspberry. You going again, or are you going to have a tickle? A tickle. A tickle. Come on then. So yeah, I think again, it's transition, isn't it? You know, we feel like we've got control over our garden to a certain extent during the spring and even the winter, because we're planning and nothing else is interfering. You know, we're doing exactly what we want to do, the way we want to do it. And then in this case, the weather took hold and we couldn't do much about it, really. So I really must show you our water butts. We were given a couple of old-fashioned bins by our neighbour the other day, which I think anybody but us would have been a little bit, I don't know, a bit puzzled by, but we were absolutely thrilled. Just the old plastic black cylindrical bins with a lid, but they're certainly going to help collect our rainwater up at the plot, because I know quite a few places in the UK now are heading for the hosepipe ban, and it won't be long before we get it up here. So when it rains, we have had a few heavy showers over the last couple of days. It's just so nice to think that we're able to harvest, because it is a harvest, we're able to harvest our own water. So yeah, have a little think about that if you are growing your own for the first time. Look at places where you can set up a water butt, a shed, get a drain pipe on it that'll go into a water butt for you. I've shown you the polytunnel gullies before with the water butts at each end. They work so well. So yeah, have a consider, because we are going to have to consider, I think, very much in the future, how to adapt our gardening to the weather conditions. And I'm not going to start on that because I'll be here forever. Oh, you know what? This is what happens. I'm going to run out of recording time in a minute, and I'll just it is good for you. But I was sitting here, it must have been half an hour before. I was just sitting having a chat, and I've even got, I was given, I must admit I didn't buy it, I've even got a little book, How to Talk Chicken. I'm not going to try, I'm certainly not going to try on camera, but we do like a bok, 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 don't we? But it's getting to understand all the different noises that they make, and yeah, I think these are quite happy. They look very scratty, don't you? Are you happy? Pigeons? You're not pigeons. Happy chickens. Yeah, you are. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you found this video a little bit more happy, a little bit more uplifting. I hope you're all getting on really well in your gardens, and you know, the weather's treating you kind. Do come along to Instagram, look at some pretty pictures, come along and join the Facebook group, and join in with the community over there. It's really nice. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. But for now, I'm going to sit here until my battery runs out and commune with the chickens. I'll see you all very soon. Bye. You're going to sleep, aren't you?